Right. What's up? Got this pipeline. Getting them on the call. Hey.
Hey, girl, let me call you right back. It's 7:30.
We're good. We're good. I'm on this one right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna hop on this one. I wonder if I can get on through this other avenue here. Licensing.
Fire?
All right, guys, we're getting this pulled up here. So we'll give it probably 2 or 3 minutes just to make sure we get everybody on. Anybody who wants to hop on the call with us today. What's up, Faith? We got Sandra.
I will tell you, Tommy, I have a lot of people asking me about like investing and retirement and do you know about this and that and 401ks? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Nothing I've never knew before though. Or so, wait, I said that wrong. So many things I never would be able to have those conversations before. I didn't know anything about anything.
Yeah, and you just done it for a couple months, so.
I know, but I'm like,
There's a lot more to learn too.
I know there's so much. Do you want me to close this?
You're putting it all together good though.
Yeah, I try. I try. Sorry. Thank you.
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me okay on here? We're using the cell phone right now because the computer was acting up. Sandra, can you hear me good? Yeah? Okay, good. I'm gonna set up the camera over here and see if we have anybody else joining in with us here. If not, I'm gonna just go ahead and get started so we can get our day on, guys. But I wanted to just spend some time getting you guys ready to get started with your new career, and just go over some pointers, some things that you might need to know and get ready for, some advice coming into the business. So right now, we should pretty much be studying for our license. Should be most of us on this call. We should be studying for our license. And just to walk you through the process. So, after you get hired on to the company, the first thing is we have to get licensed. So we hop on to the licensing course and you go through all that. And then you take your state exam. After you take and pass your state exam, then you have to apply for your license. So you send your test scores in and you send your application in for your license. That typically takes about 1 to 2 weeks for your license to come through. So you got to think now, okay, I passed my test today, but my license isn't going to come in until a week or two. So we can't start training and we can't start, really working until we are licensed. So what we do is we're going to take the next 1 or 2 weeks while we're waiting for the license to come in the mail. We're going to take that and use that time to get prepared for training. There's a lot of stuff we got to do to get ready now. We have to make sure that we have the script that we use. There's a presentation script that we use. You have to make sure that you have that. and that you're able to memorize that before you start training with us. The presentation that we use when we meet with our clients, it's all scripted. So we need to know what to say and how to say it. Well, with our company, we need to make sure that coming in the door what to say, and then we'll teach you how to say it. So what we want to do is take your first, week or two while you're waiting for your license to come in, and the first thing we got to do is we have to start memorizing our script and learning the words to what to say. So when you come into training, now we can start teaching you how to say it, how to use the laptop, and all that. The presentation also comes with a laptop. So what's nice is there'll be words to say, but there'll also be certain videos you're going to play at certain times. And while you're learning all that, we can get the presentation downloaded onto your laptop. So if you have a laptop that runs on Microsoft versus the Mac, we cannot work with a Mac. The program it's not compatible. So it has to be like a Windows based. As long as you have a Windows laptop, as soon as you get your license, we can also put, it's called our e-app presentation. We can put that onto, your computer, and you can start using that to help practice as well. So that's a big thing. Being prepared. I just want to try and make sure that you guys are prepared as possible, when getting started. So some other things that you can do to, just understand what is coming up next and get prepared for would be training class. So now you started with training class. What's training class look like? Training class is it's kind of like 3 parts. Each day we'll be taking part into like 3 different things. So during training, in the mornings, we're going to take that time and practice. Since you're so new, you want to just get used to the information and practice saying some of the words. So in the morning, there'll be a lot of role playing, a lot of practicing, a lot of saying your words out loud with your peers and with your managers, getting used to saying it, because the first time that you say this, you definitely don't want it to be in front of a client. When you see a client, you should have already said this stuff many, many times before. So in the mornings is our time to do that. In the afternoons, for your first 2 weeks in training, we'll have a training class set up where you're going to learn information. It's more like a classroom. You're a lot of note taking, and there's a teacher, and I run some of the training as well. And then after that, at nighttime, what we do is that's when we meet with our clients mostly. The majority of our client presentations typically take place in the late afternoon and in the evenings when people are free, when they're home and when they're available. During the day, a lot of times they're working, but you can catch people that are off, that maybe they work 3 days a week and 4 days a week. They're off on Fridays. Some people work second shift. So sometimes you'll be able to meet with clients in the morning. You can meet with them in the afternoon. Retirees are great. Everybody's home now anyways because of virtual and because of the pandemic. So we're catching a lot of people earlier these days. However, for training, the majority of the presentations that you're going to be part of are going to be in the evening. So that's when you're going to really get probably the bulk of your learning and your experience is going to be live client presentations. I mean, we could practice in all we want in here, but until you go in front of a real live client, it's never going to be the same experience. So that's where you're going to gain the most valuable training, probably, is going to be doing the live hands-on training. And the point is, we practice all morning so that when we meet with our clients at night, we're already used to the information. And you got to imagine every day during training, the goal is to get better and to make progress. So day one, if we were training, day one, I might have you, what we're going to meet with clients, I might have you as the trainee, maybe do 10 or 20% of the presentation since it's your first day. And I'll probably pick up and do the other 80%. But the second day, maybe now you can do 30% or 40% of the presentation because we've been worked at it all morning. And now the fourth day, you could do 40%, 50%. Each day, the goal is for you to progress and be able to do more and more of that presentation and be more comfortable and confident in it as well. So by the end of week one, you're about 50% through your script and you know 50% of it. By the end of week two, you're going to know 100% of your script. By the end of the second week, that's when you should be able to go in front of a client. And I don't even need to say a word anymore. As your trainer, as your manager, you can pretty much do the whole thing from front to back. I'm there for moral support, maybe. So that would be the ideal first 2 weeks in training. Now, after you go through training, are you going to know everything? By no means. There's no way we can teach you everything in 2 or 3 weeks of training. Average training time about 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes people need an extra week just to really get everything down. Hey, sometimes people need an extra 2 weeks. And here's the key, guys. We're not going to train you for 2 weeks and then say, all right, hey, your time's up. Good luck. Like, we can't afford to do that. If we send you to meet with a client and you misinform them or you're not properly trained yourself, well, that can be a major problem for our company, for our organization. We get complaints. We could lose a lot of groups. We work with the steelworkers. If we send the wrong people out to the steelworkers, the president's going to cancel us. And we're going to lose a whole group of 5,000 people that we could be working with, right? So we have to make sure that we hire the right people. And then we also have to make sure that we give them the right training. And that means no shortcutting your training. We won't shortcut your training. And what we don't want you to do is we don't want you to take any shortcuts either. You know what they say happens when you take a shortcut? Your results get cut short. So we want to make sure that we stick to the full training system and not really skipping anything along the way. Now, when you go through your training, after you're able to start and go and meet on your own with clientele, when you're able to do that, you're still going to need some training. You know, you only been through 2 or 3 weeks of training. So I want you to know, after you go through the training, now you're able to go meet clients on your own. But it's still going to take you about 100 presentations in front of clients, about 100 of these things, before you're going to feel 100% comfortable. It's going to take you about 100 of those things, 100 presentations before you're going to feel 100% confident. So for your first 100 presentations, you might not feel very comfortable or confident. You might feel, like you're not too confident that you can, do this. But after you do 10 presentations, you're going to start to feel 10% comfortable. After you do 20, after you do 30 presentations, you're going to feel 30% comfortable. Still 70% uncomfortable, but 30% comfortable. The key is you got to keep pushing through it, and you got to learn that you're going to be uncomfortable for a while. It's just going to be the nature of it. So you have to just basically, you know what they told me, and it made sense. They're like, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable for a little bit. But after you get through those 100, it'll be second nature to you. You're not even going to have to think or worry, and you're going to feel comfortable and confident to meet with them clients. So you got to think now, time-wise, what's the time frame on all this look like? Well, right now, guys, we're pretty much coming up on the end of January. So for our licensing, we should all pretty much have our license class passed by the end of January and probably have our state exam scheduled here. So by the first week of February, I'd imagine all of us would pretty much have our test taken and be licensed. So now you got to think there's going to be 2 weeks during the month of February that I got to wait for my license to come in. And then you're probably not going to be able to start training until the second, third week of February. So by the end of February. So you'll train at the end of February to beginning of March. That's going to give us, you're going to look at probably, I would say the whole entire month of April, May, and June. That'll be your first 2 to 3 months of you being out on your own, meeting clients without your manager with you. And that will be the time frame it's going to take you to give 100 presentations. It takes about 2 to 3 months to give your first 100 presentations. Sometimes you can do more, but if you do 10 presentations a week times 10 weeks, that's 100 presentations. That would take you about 2.5 months. So that's the key right there, is making sure that you just understand the time frame, that this does not happen in a day. This is something that happens daily, that we can develop, and we can do this daily. And you pick your head up after a consistent 2, 3, 4 months, and that's when you're going to be able to see the results. But if you look at this thing daily, like it's like if you worked out. If you work out and every single day you're looking yourself in the mirror, you're not going to see any results from day to day. That's why they take that before and after picture. So if you take a before picture, and then you work out for just 3 months in a row, and then you're going to see a drastic difference in those 2 pictures. But on a daily basis, you might not notice those gains or losses, whatever you're looking to do. So, but that's a little insight on what the first few weeks, first few months, of the career are going to look like. But, just get excited, guys. I just looked at the statistics, the company, the big theme right now with our company is that we just broke the biggest year we ever had in company history. Our goal was to do 250 million, and we did 272 million as an international company. Fox is doing like a story on, and what they did is they identified the top large businesses that were faced with the pandemic and with the hurdles that they had to overcome. Our company was chosen as one of the top companies for responding and overcoming the hurdles of the pandemic. And we actually had our biggest year in company history in the face of all this. So coming into this year, all the signs, trends, indicators, I'm telling you, everything is pointing up right now. Our local agency here is on an absolute momentum swing. We are just doing phenomenal as a local agency here. We had our biggest month last month. This month we're going to be the fastest agency probably to do over 200,000 in a month. We still have about a week left, but with the momentum that we have going on for the first month of the year, we're really rocking and rolling. So we're excited to have you guys on board, and just can't wait to get you in here and get you exposed to some of the great speakers that we have, some of the leaders, to the environment, and get you into the opportunity, guys. So with your licensing, the best thing I could tell you to do is the same thing that I was told to do when I was hired on back in 2005. I was hired into this industry 16 years ago. And I still remember to this day, the guy that hired me, he said, there's only 2 things you need to worry about right now. You need to study and pass. If you don't study and pass, nothing else really matters. So let's take care of the first things first. Let's get that done. Let's have a narrow focus. He said, have a narrow focus and just make sure you study and pass. So the best advice I could give you guys right now, stay in touch with your managers. Make sure on Monday mornings, 11 a.m. Central, we have our agency meetings. Please hop on to those as well. But I look forward to seeing you guys here back next Friday. And hopefully you're not on too many of these things. You hopefully within 2 or 3 weeks, you're already passed your tests, and we're already get you into training class, guys. So good luck with everything. I'm excited to work with you, and have a great day today. Thanks.